I'm Roman Yossi of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Dante Fabro of the Nashville Predators.
This is Philip Forsberg of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Colton Sissons of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Eustace Aros of the Nashville Predators.
You're listening to the Renegades of Puck
with Crazy Charlie.
Welcome to the bunker. Welcome to the Renegades of Puck podcast. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. And before we get started with a no half-step in hockey coverage, first, let me direct you to our home website, renegadesofpuck.com. Once you go to renegadesofpuck.com, you learn everything you need to know about the show. And once you're good and educated about the show, you can click on that merchandise tab. Take you straight to our classic logo t-shirt, our Pride logo t-shirt, all of our different special event t-shirts, and so much more. All the gimmicks you come to know and love and expect from the Renegades of Puck are all still available in our online store. And at the holiday season, it's never too late to pick up that last-minute gift. Socks, throw pillows, wall arts, bed sets. It makes no difference to us. Something like 88 different items with our logo on it. We call it gimmicks, and we also like to say that we've sold out so that you can buy in. Social media is of critical importance to this operation, so listen up and here's how you can support the Renegades of Puck. You can find us on Threads. You can also find us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and yes, we are still on X for some reason. You can also find us on YouTube, and we sure are appreciative of all of our new subscribers. Thank you so much. Stick taps, love, and respect. And we cannot wait to greet our new subscribers, so please continue passing the links around from our YouTube channel. Just search Renegades of Puck, and you will be right there at our channel. That's game previews, game recaps, all the episodes of Renegades of Puck TV, all of that. You can find it on our YouTube channel. The audio podcast, closing out the year incredibly strong. We've surpassed 7 million downloads and replays for the year, and are looking to finish closing the year out. So let's continue that progress. Renegades of Puck, sure to appreciate each and every one of you at the Full Press Predators podcast, the Full Press NHL Network. We are doing an incredible job this year, and we're looking forward to, again, closing the year out strong. You can find us on Google, Stitcher, Spotify, and several other podcast platforms. Just search Renegades of Puck in your preferred platform today. You can also support the show financially or make a donation to the show by going to Venmo, search Renegades of Puck, or just scan the QR code that's currently on your screen. Thanks to generous Renegades just like you watching and listening right now, we've been able to make significant upgrades. As a matter of fact, the entire operation has been because of generous Renegades like you. So thank you so much. Stick taps, love, and respect. We're sure to appreciate it, especially now at the holidays. We could always use a little bit extra support. Remember, every dollar goes a long way to helping the Renegades of Puck. As a matter of fact, every single penny of every dollar goes to helping the Renegades of Puck. So thank you again. Stick taps, love, and respect. Now, listen, I know it's time for the No Half Step in Hockey coverage, so let me deliver the goods. Time for operation number 840. That's right. It's time for show number 840. And at this moment in hockey history, the Nashville Predators currently find themselves in fourth place in Central Division after 31 games. They have a record of 18-13-0. 36 points has them 4 points shy of the first place Colorado Avalanche on home ice, which is where the Nashville Predators' next game will take place. They have a record of 11-6-0. The Preds have scored 99 goals this season. They've given up 94 against. That's a goal differential of +5. Now, mention that the Preds were 4 points behind the first place Colorado Avalanche, so let's update you on the latest standings and points race for the Central Division. The Avs in first place after 31 games, skated a record of 19-10-2, 40 points, has them 2 points ahead of second place Winnipeg, who has a record of 18-9-2. Then you'll find the Dallas Stars also with 38 points, but they have a record of 17-8-4. Nashville Predators, by the way, will be playing the Dallas Stars very soon. It's going to be a critical Central Division matchup. Then you'll find the Preds at fourth place with 36 points. The Arizona Coyotes in fifth place with 32 points. St. Louis at 31, and then Minnesota in seventh place with 28 points. The Chicago Blackhawks still are sitting on 19 points and are still sitting in the basement of the Central Division in eighth place, as I imagine they're going to continue to do for the remainder of the season, already falling 9 points behind seventh place as it is. Now, once the Nashville Predators are wrapped up with this one game against the Vancouver Canucks on home ice, which we're going to break down here momentarily, then they will be heading out on the road to close out the regular season series against the Philadelphia Flyers in Philadelphia. And then Saturday, huge Central Division matchup, the Dallas Stars coming into Bridgestone Arena. First meeting of the season between the Preds and the Stars, the 27th of December after the Christmas break. The Preds will finish off the regular season series against the Carolina Hurricanes on Bridgestone Arena ice. And then on the 29th of December, the Preds' first meeting of the season in Detroit against the Red Wings. And on the 30th, so another back-to-back before the end of the month of December, Preds will finish out their regular season series against the Washington Capitals. Now, I've said the word regular season series so many times that now let's just go ahead and transition over to that category. The regular season series between these Nashville Predators and Vancouver Canucks is also coming to its conclusion with this game. Let's go back and talk about the previous two. It's not so great for the Nashville Predators, who are 0-2 so far in the season. They have not picked up a single point against Vancouver. They've been outscored 8-4. Thatcher Demko is 2-0 and has gone 43 out of 47. It was back on October the 24th when the Preds fell on home ice to Vancouver 3-2. Demko won that game going 16 out of 18. Light workload overall. So Saros, 21 out of 24, took the loss. Sherwood and Sissons picked up the goals for the Nashville Predators. Follow that up a week later on Halloween when the Vancouver Canucks in home ice defeated the Nashville Predators 5-2. Lankinen got the start for the Preds, and this one took the loss 22 out of 26. Demko the start again and the victory again, 27 out of 29 in this one. A little bit more of a workload, but same result. Pettersson with the hat trick against the Nashville Predators. Sissons and Fabro scored the goals for the Preds. So Colton Sissons has a goal in each game against Vancouver this season, and Colton Sissons is having one of the best seasons of his career offensively. So it would be great to see him score one more goal. But the Preds are 0-2 against this Vancouver Canucks team this year, and they are looking to close out the regular season. Now, the Preds ran into a team that no one expected to be this good early in the season. So the losses to Vancouver early in the year in October seemed a lot worse, or were reacted to so much more negatively than I think people are looking back at them right now, because the Vancouver Canucks and the Nashville Predators are two of the hottest teams in the Western Conference. This is truly one of the most pivotal and great matchups we have on the calendar right now. This is going to be awesome right here. Nobody expected the Nashville Predators and the Vancouver Canucks to be where they are after 30 games played this season, but we find ourselves there. The Preds looking to get themselves on the board against Vancouver. Let's talk about this Canucks team. Updated numbers for the Vancouver Canucks. They are now 21-9-2 after their Sunday win. 44 points, has them second place in the Pacific Division behind the red-hot Vegas Golden Knights. Catching up to the Vegas Golden Knights is going to be tough, so the Canucks are actually having a quite incredible season. Great record on the road as well, 9-6-1. Now here's where their numbers get just wild. 120 goals for on the season and only 79 against. That's plus 41. Yes, that will come up again in this preview. Now let's take a look at their most recent 5, updated through Sunday's victory in Chicago. Back on the 9th of December, is a 4-3 win at the Carolina Hurricanes. On the 12th, it was a 4-1 win versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. On the 14th of December, is a 4-0 win versus the Florida Panthers. On the 16th of December, a 2-1 shootout loss at Minnesota, the only blemish on the record, losing that point right there. And on the 17th, on Sunday, it was a 4-3 win at the Chicago Blackhawks. It was the Canucks hanging on in the third period. Blackhawks were trying to make a rally, but Vancouver, frankly, on the second day of back-to-backs with their legs declining, did enough at the end of this game, and Demko ends up picking up the victory, going 25 out of 28 to get that victory. Now, for these two teams going into this matchup, and again, it's really important. One of the better teams in the Pacific, one of the better teams in the Central going up against each other. This is a really good measuring stick game at this moment in the season. So let's talk about the rankings and the numbers between these two teams, and these are updated again through Sunday's game for Vancouver. 3.75 goals per game for the Canucks is first overall in the league. Again, 120 total goals for is an incredible number. They've already scored 8 against the Predators this season in just 2 games. That's 4 per game against the Preds. 3.16 goals per game is the Nashville Predators, 16th best in the NHL. In the goals against category, Vancouver is pretty damn good as well. 2.44 is second overall in the NHL, while the Preds 3.03 given up per game is 12th overall in the National Hockey League. Now, this is the one that really puzzles me, because the Vancouver Canucks have easily the best offense in goals. They have a top 6 power play. I mean, they're pretty incredible, but their shots for category, 28th, only generating 28.1 shots per game. That is perplexing, and I need to look more into that. Shots for category for the Preds, 30.1 per game is 22nd. In the shots against category, the Preds are 17th overall, giving up 30.8 per game, while Vancouver gives up 30 even per game. That's right in the middle of the league at 15th. Special teams, Vancouver does have an advantage in the power play with the 6th best power play overall in the NHL, 29 out of 114 opportunities, or 25.4% conversion rate. The Nashville Predators have converted 24 out of 113 opportunities, 16th best in the league, 21.2% is their conversion rate. On the penalty kill, the Nashville Predators have stepped up ahead of Vancouver since the updated numbers came out overnight on Sunday. 23rd overall in the league now for the Nashville Predators on the PK, 24 power play goals against the season, 76.2% kill rate, while Vancouver has a 76 even kill rate, 24th overall in the league, and 24 power play goals against given up. Now, updated stats for the individual top 5 scorers on each team, and this Vancouver Canucks team, well-balanced and just absolutely incredible. JT Miller right up there near the tops of the league, 15 goals, 30 assists for 45 points. Neither his goals nor his assists are tops. on the team in these categories. So for the Vancouver Canucks, you can see how well balanced they are overall offensively. So that 45 points is first and amongst near the tops in the league. Pettersson, 12 goals, 27 assists for 39 points overall. Out of his 12 goals, 3 of them came against the Nashville Predators back in October. Hughes with 9 goals and 30 assists on the season for 39 points as well, tied for second. Bossert, 23 goals, is the lead on the Vancouver Canucks, plus 14 assists for 37 points. And Roenick, 2 and 26 for 28. The Nashville Predators stats. Philip Forsberg leads the team in scoring, 16 goals and 20 assists for 36 overall points. Truly having a great season offensively so far, one of the best, and easily on pace if he remains healthy and consistent to break several franchise records now through 31 games, 36 points. He's maintained well over a point per game pace for a significant amount of time now. The captain, Roman Josi, is 7 goals and 20 assists for 27 points. Remember when we thought Roman Josi was off to a slow start? Well, he sure has caught up to that moving train and sure is putting the points up. Adjusted to Andrew Burnett's system after about the first 12 games of the season, now it's just offensively taken over the way you expect the captain Roman Josi to do. Ryan O'Reilly has been a revelation for this Nashville Predators team. 13 goals, 13 assists, 26 total points, third overall in team in scoring, and just leading the way. He is truly the spirit animal and leader of the entire forward grouping, just like McDonough is for the defensive grouping. Nyquist, 4 goals, 16 assists for 20 points. Colton Sissons at 10 goals and 6 assists for 16 points overall. Want to see this goaltending matchup, so I'm trying to speak it into existence right here. But hopefully you're going to get to see UC Saros on home ice. Expected to see UC Saros in this game. 14-10-0 on the season, 9.912 save percentage, 2.71 goals against average. Those numbers are looking so much better than they were a month ago. 9-1 in his last 10. And we'll go over those numbers significantly. We'll talk about this a lot more throughout the rest of this episode. And Thatcher Demko, 16-7-0, 921 save percentage, 2.34 goals against average. Demko already 2-0 against the Nashville Predators. No reason to think he's not going to get the start. He's the workhorse of this team, and he's near the tops in the leagues in the majority of his categories and has been since the beginning of the season. So that's going to do it. Getting you all set up for what I think is going to be an incredibly fun game at Bridgestone, an incredibly important game for this Nashville Predators team. They got it handed to them 2 times against the Vancouver Canucks this season, and now, since the Preds have turned things around and become one of the better teams in the NHL since Thanksgiving, they have an opportunity to show the rest of the league that what happened to them early in the season in October against this Vancouver Canucks team is not what's going to happen to them again. This Preds team is solid. They just split with the Tampa Bay Lightning, with the New York Rangers, with the Toronto Maple Leafs, and they have done a very, very good job so far this season. I'm really looking forward to this match. Really looking forward to Nashville coming out and getting behind this one. And it's Christmas week, so I expect a big, big attendance in the building as everybody's starting to travel out. That's going to do it for getting you all set for this game. That's the preview. We've got the recap. It's called the Rebirth Sports Full Game Recap. We got to go all the way back to the Preds' last game, and they just keep doing it. Let's talk about it. It's coming up next right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
Hockey players are as unique as the game itself, and your uniform should be tailored to fit you. Rebirth Sports is your sports apparel tailor. From shells, bags, warm-ups, hats, hoodies, branding, and more, let Rebirth Sports be your custom hockey tailor.
And don't forget to tell them they do more than just hockey.
Rebirth Sports on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Rebirth Sport, a match made in hockey.
It's now time for the Rebirth Sports Full Game Recap. You give us 10 minutes, we're going to give you the entire game. We go all the way back December the 16th of the year 2023 when the Nashville Predators were welcoming in the Washington Capitals for the first of 2 regular season meetings, and it's Saturday night in Smashville. Head coach Andrew Burnett deploys his lines in the following way. Forsberg, O'Reilly, and Nyquist, Parson, Novak, and Evangelista, Trennan, Glass, and Sissons, Smith, McCarron, and Tomasino. We're starting to see some symmetry and some chemistry between these line groupings now that they're getting some experience together, and is certainly proving to be successful for this Nashville Predators team. On the defensive side of things, McDonough and Josi make up your top pair. Luzon and Carrier make up your second pair, and Barry and Shen make up the third pair. Dante Fabro, the healthy scratch. UC Saros gets the start in net for the Nashville Predators on home ice in the second night of back-to-backs. We are 51 seconds into the first period, and it's UC Saros coming up with a save on Wilson after a turnover by the Nashville Predators. It's the first shot on goal of the game for either team. At 2:23 of the first period, it's Lindgren coming up with a save on Carey. That's the Nashville Predators' first shot on goal of the game. At 2:38, it's Lindgren coming up with a save on McDonough's long shot. That's their second shot of goal. Just kidding. 2:54 the first period. UC Stars coming up with a save on Carlson at the 3:37 mark. Lindgren comes up with a save on Shen at 3:53. Lindgren comes up with a save on Smith's wraparound attempt. And we're seeing the teams trading chances, but the Nashville Predators getting the better of the chances here early in the first 4 minutes at 4:15 of the first period. It's Van Riemsdyk off to the box. 2 minutes for puck over the glass. And the Nashville Predators are going to capitalize with Colton Sisson's net front presence right here. His 10th goal of the season gives the Nashville Predators a 1-0 lead. It was a tip/redirect of Yossi's lob setup. Just an incredible play as Colton Sissons picked himself up from behind the net, cuts in front of the goaltender at just the right moment as the captain, Roman Yossi, just lobs a soft wrist shot into the danger area. And Colton Sissons with the perfect redirect as Lindgren was waiting to harmlessly glove this puck. Now, Preds with a 1-0 lead on a slick power play goal. 11:07 of the first period. Evangelista with a wrist shot that's stopped by Lindgren. 11:29 of the first period. Lindgren coming up with another save on Luke Evangelista. It was, as a matter of fact, the third chance of this shift by Luke Evangelista, buzzing in the first period. At 12:56 of the first, it's Saros coming with a save on Ovechkin. We'll hear that again. 19:10 of the first period. Saros coming in with a save on Van Riemsdyk. We hit the end of the first period. Long stretch of action there from 12:56 to 19:10 with not a lot happening. As a matter of fact, low event hockey would happen for multiple stretches of this game. That was the stretch for the first period. Now, we at the end of the first period. The Predators outshoot Washington 8-4 at the end of 20 minutes. Preds lead 1-0. We go to the second period onto the clean sheet. We are 1:49 into the second period, and Tusi Saros coming up with a save on Preds plus a rebound follow-up. And then at 3:23 of the second period, Smith is off the box. 2 minutes for tripping. UC Saros is going to have to get dialed in right here. He comes up with a save on Wilson, then a second save on Strome, and then McDonough is going to be called for high sticking. This is going to lead to a 5-on-3, but before we continue on with the 5-on-3, Oshie does a good job of selling the high stick on McDonough and getting the call, but it was absolutely not a high stick. UC Saros, during the 5-on-3, comes up with a save on Ovechkin. Of course, his heavy blast of a one-timer from the left point. We all know where that's coming from, right there in the face-off circle. Saros then comes up with a save on Strome, but then it's Oshie able to capitalize for the Washington Capitals with his second goal of the season, tying the game up at 1 apiece. The puck got loose after UC Saros comes up with an incredible save. It was just kind of trickling just outside the goal line. Not enough momentum to get it outside the post. Oshie dives towards the net, knifes the puck in easily for his second goal of the season. We got a tied hockey game here early in the second period. Back to 5-on-5 hockey at 5:32 of the second period. UC Saros coming with a save on Alex Ovechkin at 6:16 of the second period. Lindgren coming with a save on Roman Yossi. That's the first shot on goal of the period for this Nashville Predators team, coming at 6:16, and it wasn't necessarily a high danger scoring chance. 7:55 of the second period. UC Saros comes up with a save on Wilson, and now the Nashville Predators are going to be under siege for quite a bit of time. At the 7:55 mark, a save on Wilson. The 10:11 mark, UC Saros, a save on Fairbury. At 11:05, Lindgren comes up with a save on Alex Carey. Now we're at the 12:01 mark, and UC Saros is coming up with a save on Ovechkin. Nashville Predators on fumes out there on the ice, doing all they can to hang on. 12:41, Saros, another save on Ovechkin for Tomasino, fresh off the bench, and the Nashville Predators, the opportunists, to clear the puck to Tomasino, who is off on the breakaway. And so many times before we've seen this, but unlike those previous times before, Tomasino this time finishes the play, forehand, backhand into the net. His second goal of the season puts the Nashville Predators on top 2-1 in this game. Again, for it seemed like 7 straight minutes without a whistle, the Nashville Predators were under siege, and UC Saros was coming up with some incredible saves while the D in front of him was just absolutely exhausted. Tomasino, ever the opportunist, gets the breakaway goal and finally finishes one of those. 2-1 now, Nashville Predators. We're at the 14:49 mark of the second period. It's Lindgren coming up with a save on Forsberg at 15:33. Lindgren comes up with a save on Luke Evangelista, and we have another long stretch and lull of low impact, low activity hockey. 19:02 of the second period. UC Saros comes with the save on TJ Oshie. We hit the end of the second period. The shots on goal now for Washington, 17. The Nashville Predators 14. So the Preds are only able to generate 6 shots on goal here in the second period, but they are able to get the most important one of all, the breakaway from Tomasino. The Washington Capitals are able to generate 13 shots on goal after only generating 4 in the first period. UC Saros had to stand incredibly strong. Nashville Predators a chance to to regroup at the intermission. We come out on the clean sheet for the third period. We're a minute and 36 seconds into the third period, and Ovechkin, who's off to the box, 2 minutes for slashing on Philip Forsberg. Lindgren comes up with a save on the captain, Roman Josi, but unfortunately for the Nashville Predators, unable to generate much zone time, much offense, or truly anything. But they were happy to see the couple of minutes come off the clock as they're trying to hold on to this lead here in the third period. We flip to the back of the sheet. We go back to 5-on-5 hockey, and we find at 3:41 of the third period, it's Yakov Trenin scoring his 7th goal of the season. He brings the net front jam, and he won the battle on the shift after the power play. So the Nashville Predators send out the 4th line after the power play expires, and they get the job done. McCarron, a big factor on this play, as well as Tomasino. So for the Nashville Predators, Yakov Trenin's 7th goal of the season comes with the one-hand jam in front of the net, gives the Nashville Predators that insurance goal, now 3-1 in favor of the Preds. 6:46 into the third period. It's Lindgren coming up with a save on Luke Evangelista. Luke was buzzing all over the rink tonight. 7:07 of the third period. Saros coming up with a save on Alex Ovechkin again. 7:37 of the third period. It's Lindgren coming up with a save on the captain, Roman Josi. At 8:45 of the third period, we see Carrier go off the box. 2 minutes for slashing, and UC Saros has come up with a huge save on Wilson, but the Nashville Predators penalty kill does a great job in front, blocking shots and taking away passing lanes. Nashville Predators are able to get away from this PK without any danger. At 14:50, after a significant lull in impact hockey, we hit the 14:50 mark now of the third period, and it's UC Saros coming up with a save on Kuznetsov at 15:34 of the third period. It's Lindgren coming up with a save on McCarron at 16:08. It's Lindgren coming up with a save on McCarron. As a matter of fact, McCarron would have 3 consecutive shots on goal for this Nashville Predators team here in the third period. 16:45 the third. It's UC Saros coming up with a save on Sandin at 17:23. Glass is off the box. 2 minutes for tripping. Saros has come up with a big save on Oshie. Nashville Predators PK is able to stand strong. At 19:47 of the third period, it's Strome off the box. 2 minutes for hooking on glass during the empty net scenario. Honestly, it was a reckless takedown, and the goal should have been awarded because it would have easily been an empty net goal in this situation, but Wes McCauley, being Wes McCauley, does not call the play accurately, and the Nashville Predators are not awarded. Unfortunately, Glass was seemingly injured, and this is not good news. This leads to Lindgren having to come up with a save on Novak, and it also then led to the Nashville Predators continuing to pour on the pressure up until end, honestly, just a minute or a second after the buzzer as the Preds put the puck in after the 20-minute mark. Of course, this led to a large scrum, and the Preds put the puck back in the net. They were pissed off about what happened with the Strome hit there at the end. That's going to do it, though. Teams separate. No serious incidents here. Nashville Predators win this game 3-1 on home ice over the Washington Capitals. 23-22 is the shot advantage in favor of the Nashville Predators, and the Preds find yet another way to win. The top guns on the team did not put up the points and the goals in this game. The bottom 6 got the job done for this Nashville Predators team, and while there might have been long, weird lulls and stretches without high-impact hockey, when the hockey was high-impact, it was pretty incredible, and UC Saros had to come up with another amazing game here against Washington Capitals. Against Alex Ovechkin, 6 saves alone. So UC Saros may not have had the highest shot volume, but he certainly had a heavy workload against this Washington Capitals team, and the Preds find another way to win a game. Under siege in the second period, playing down to the Caps maybe a little bit. Tomasino's breakaway goal wins it for this Predators team. That's going to do it. Preds continue hot. Vancouver Canucks are up next. That's a Reverse Sports full game recap, analysis, and more coming up next.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm Tracy, owner-operator of Strong Style Fitness. And that's me and my training assistant, Rizzo. And we are here to bring you fitness that meets you where you are by offering circuit classes, bar-inspired classes, Tabata workouts, boot camps, guided stretching, and more, all taught by a certified personal trainer, me. To learn more, go to our website, strongstylefit.com. Subscribe on YouTube at Strong Style Fitness. Follow on social media at Strong Style Fit. But most importantly, let's get you moving. It doesn't matter if it's your first workout or you've been doing it for years. Strong Style Fitness has the workout that meets you on your journey and helps you along the path to a happier, healthier life. I understand where you've been, what you were going through, and where you were going, and I want to take you there. We'll see you on the mat. Mwah.
Welcome back in, Renegades of Puck podcast. That was a Rebirth Sports full game recap. Now let's go back and talk about that game. UC Saros got the start, and again, not the highest shot volume, but a very heavy workload. 21 out of 22 is the final stat line. 1 goal against. That came on a 5-on-3, and the notation I made immediately was shot volume low, workload high, and then I notated these couple of things. 6 saves versus Alex Ovechkin, who is in an absolute scoring funk and was trying. He typically scores quite well against the Nashville Predators. I didn't want to really say that earlier, but he usually does, and this time he was really trying to break out his funk, could not do so. Saros stops him 6 times. Saros also stops 7 power play shots against. 12 of 13 in the second period. Relentless siege by the Washington Capitals before the Preds broke the siege with the Tomasino breakaway goal that ended up being the game winner. Now, listen, we all know how much UC Saros was struggling, not just in October, but in November. Now that it's December, he has just been otherworldly. Let's just take a look at the last 10 games for UC Saros. 9-1 is his record, a .937 save percentage, a 2.02 goals against average. He's tied for third in wins. On the season now, 14-10-0, a .912 save percentage, a 2.71 goals against average. UC Saros has truly turned his season around, and the Nashville Predators have absolutely turned their season around now, only 2 points out of first place, and obviously that's because of a red-hot UC Saros on a winning streak like he's never had in his career, and putting up numbers that are bolstering the reputation that he has had in the past as a Vezina caliber goaltender at this level. The head coach Andrew Burnett also seems to have found a unique setup with UC Saros getting the second start in each of the back-to-backs the Predators have had so far this season, 3-0 in those back-to-back scenarios, with Lankinen getting the start in the first of those games. A lot of people shrugged, questioned, and weren't quite sure of that strategy after the first back-to-back. But now that you've seen the results and you see UC Saros going 3-0 and bailing his team out in all 3 of those games, that's one of those moves where you can say the head coach was responsible for helping that team get a victory. Listen, at the end of a season, typically the head coach is responsible for directly winning you about 5 games and directly responsible for losing you about 5 games, whether that's through lineup decisions, in-game changes, whatever it may be. But the head coach typically rolls the players out, and they are responsible for this one. In this particular scenario, Andrew Burnett, as a first-time full-time head coach at the NHL level, has made the right call with his goaltenders, and UC Saros now 3-0 on the second night of back-to-backs, and he has completely stolen all 3 of those games. There are other players we need to talk about, though. Philip Tomasino picks up the goal, the game-winning goal. I was so happy for Philip Tomasino in this one because we've seen his struggles on the breakaway in the past. When he first got up to the NHL and the Nashville Predators level, he had something like 4 breakaways in a very early stretch of time in the early part of the season, and he failed to convert on them, and it frankly lowered his numbers total for the season, and I think it soured his confidence a little bit, and that's why it's taken Tomasino a little bit more time. He's playing very well with the line mates that he has, and while many people feel that he should be in the top 6 type role, at this moment in time, he's thriving on the 4th line with McCarron and also with Cole Smith. All 3 of them are bringing the jam. They complement each other's skill set. But for Phil Tomasino, the game-winning goal comes on the breakaway. Happy to see that happen. Colton Sissons has always been one of my favorite Nashville Predators players ever since he first came up. He's been one of the most reliable, one of the most stable, one of the most steady. And this season is just awesome to watch. A goal for Colton Sissons' game is his 10th of the season. He's out there on the power play. He's got the perfect play. He gets up from behind the net, cuts in front of the net, takes away the vision of the goaltender, and then takes the Yossi lob and redirects it to the opposite side of the play. And the Nashville Predators' Colton Sissons is just having an incredible season at this point. I think he's going to end up having the best offensive season of his career by the end of he's not already approaching that. I mean, this is some incredible stuff. Double digits in goals for Colton Sissons by the 31st game of the season. Trennan picks up a goal in this game. He's bringing the no-half step and jam. Every single stick and every single player out there on the ice was jamming away, looking for it, trying to clear it, and it was Yakov Trenin getting his stick on it after he got his skate blades on it to keep it from getting cleared out of there in the first place. Trenin's 7th goal of the season. Now, this team, it's no coincidence that once Yakov Trenin started getting his game going in the right direction, both offensively and physically, there's no doubt that that's where the Nashville Predators, you can go right back to that moment and say that's where Yakov Trenin's season turned around and the Predators' season started going in the right direction. Truly incredible to see. And Yakov Trenin, again, these are some of my favorite players on the roster that we're getting to talk about here. Michael McCarron is easily becoming one of my favorite players. He picks up an assist in this one. Also, 3 shots on goal, 3 consecutive shots on goal. When the Preds are trying to survive on home ice against the Washington Capitals in the third period, Michael McCarron has 3 consecutive shots on goal. Also delivers 4 hits in this game, and he does it all in only 10:38 in time on ice. He's rock solid for this Nashville Predators team. I remember back to early in the season when he was a healthy scratch and he got in the lineup and people were just moaning about Michael McCarron is not a good hockey player. He doesn't deserve to be inside. Michael McCarron is rock solid as a fourth-line center for this Nashville Predators team. He chips in offensively. He chips in numerous different special teams opportunities on the penalty kill. He's physical. He seems to be incredibly well-liked, and he certainly, if necessary, can drop the gloves with the best of them in the league. Michael McCarron is a fantastic player to be in the mix. You have to have a healthy mix of different types of players, and Michael McCarron brings an ingredient that fits perfectly with the jam of the Nashville Predators, just like Cole Smith does now. For all the time laughing at Cole Smith last year, and he scores a goal, and Dan Hinote saying, I wish we could have 13 Cole Smiths on the team. Well, you know what? Cole Smith is really rounded into a pretty good NHL player. Shift by shift, he goes out there, he works incredibly hard. Again, you have to have a bottom 6 that works incredibly hard, but is also effective in different areas. Cole Smith picks up an assist in this game, 3 shots on goal, and also 10 hits. So that fourth line was out there getting the job done. Tomasino with the game-winning goal. McCarron picks up an assist. Smith picks up an assist. Many shots on goal, many hits in this game. The bottom 6 for this Nashville Predators team came through against the Washington Capitals in an incredible way, and they are more and more consistent as each week goes by this season. It is truly a lot of fun to watch, and 18-13-0 has exceeded every single person's expectations. And if you are saying you thought the Preds would be 2 points out of first place after 31 games played in the season, and you thought they would have a winning record on home ice, a .500 record, and a plus goal differential, you are lying. Everybody thought the Nashville Predators going to a full rebuild would be down around 7th, possibly 8th place in the Central Division. Now they're pushing for first place in the Central and some big-time matchups coming up in the near future. This is a very, very fun season to cover so far. We're still 10 games away from the midpoint of the season, but there's going to come a point where we have to start talking about this Nashville Predators team being a legit competitive team for a playoff spot, and that's not something we thought we would be talking about going into the season. Certainly not. All right, that's going to do it for the analysis portion. So I can talk about the bottom 6. I can talk about the defense. I can talk about all of this all day long. But the box score is going to give me a chance to give some more commentary and some more analysis. So let's hear from our good friend Stripe Digital. Let's get back into it. Let's get to the good cold hard numbers known as the box score. Let's do it next on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
The digital environment can be quite intimidating, time-consuming, and cumbersome, especially with all those other areas that need attention at your business, and that's why Stripe Digital Solutions is here to help. I know because that's exactly what Stripe Digital Solutions did for me and the Renegades of Puck. From designing my home website and helping me create my merchandise to special event posters, brand building, and social media management. But it's not just that, it's so much more. Stripe Digital Solutions has helped me every step of the way. From startup to full-time operation, Stripe Digital Solutions has been there to assist and advise every single step of the journey. In today's fast-paced world, the path to success is having a strong digital partner, and nobody is better in the trenches than Brandy and Stripe Digital Solutions. Get the solution before it's even a problem with Stripe Digital Solutions.
Time for the good cold hard numbers known as the box score. Your goal scorers all come from the bottom 6 of the Nashville Predators forward grouping. Colton Sissons, Philip Tomasino, and Yakov Trenin. Great job by all 3 of them in this game. The assists spread out a little bit more. Philip Forsberg, Michael McCarron, and Cole Smith pick up assists from the forwards. Alex Carrier, the captain Romagnosi, also pick up assists in this game. In the shots on goal category, it was Luke Evangelista buzzing in this game. Glad I had another opportunity to mention that. 4 shots on goal, and I felt felt like he was taking advantage of his 13-13 in time on ice. 3 shots on goal for McCarron. We mentioned it already. It came all in consecutive shots for the Preds team in the third period while the Preds were trying to hang on to a lead. Cole Smith also with 3 shots on goal. The captain, Romeo, also generates 3 shots on net in this game. Now, for the Nashville Predators blocked shots, we go straight down to the defensive side of things because there are a lot of big numbers down here. Luzon with 4, Carey with 4, Barry with 3, and Luzon just continues. I'm going to go straight over to the hits category and say Luzon also 5 hits, 21-14 time on ice, 4-17 shorthanded time on ice, and Luzon now one of the most physical players in the league. The hits he is delivering are just incredibly big, clean, timely hits. He is a physical presence. He is an intimidating presence, and he has improved as a defenseman overall incredibly. The rest of the hits category, 6 for Cole Smith in this game, 4 for Michael McCarron, and 4 for Luke Shen. Time on ice leaders. Second night of back-to-backs, you expect the numbers to be lower, and they were dramatically lower for the forward grouping. Good job by Andrew Burnett not overworking some of these forwards. It was Colton Sissons. No, as a matter of fact, it was O'Reilly by just a couple of seconds, leading the forwards in time on ice, 17:58. Colton Sissons at 17:49. Yakov Trenin at 16:25. Cole Smith, 15:38. On the defensive side of things, it was Roman Josi, of course. No, it was not. I've done this twice now. It was Ryan McDonough. Ryan McDonough, old legs out there, leading the team in total time on ice. 23:05 on the second night of back-to-backs. Also took a penalty in this game. Wow. 22:05 for Roman Josi, 21:14 for Jeremy Lauzon in this game. In the special teams battles and power play minutes, 145 for Colton Sissons, 142 for O'Reilly, Nyquist, and 140 for Forsberg, 144 for the captain, Roman Josi. The penalty kill unit, aside from the 5-on-3, where, that's a pretty tough situation against a team like the Washington Capitals, penalty kill did pretty good overall, though. 4:17 and 4:06 total time on ice. Shorthanded for Luzon and McDonough, 2:10 for Carey, 1:58 for Shen on the forward side of things, 3:35 for Colton Sissons, 2:59 for Cole Smith, 2:24 for Yakov Trenin. So again, Sissons, Smith, Trenin, these guys came through in an incredible way for this Nashville Predators team against the Washington Capitals. And over the course of a season, you're going to have nights where your top 6 dominates. Look what the Nashville Predators did in Carolina when the big guns were out there firing and scoring and putting up 6 goals. And then this game was very different. The bottom 6 has to come through. Some nights it's going to be your goaltending. Some nights it's got to be your defense. Some nights it's your top 6. Some nights it's your bottom 6. And some nights it's everyone involved overall. Those are the most fun games of all. But for the Nashville Predators, they're finding different ways to do it each and every night, and they're certainly finding ways to compete against plenty of really, really solid hockey teams. In net, we got to mention UC Saros once again. 21 out of 22, 1 goal against, 14 even strength saves, 7 power play saves, 6 saves against Alex Ovechkin. The 1 goal against came on the 5-on-3. Last 10 games, 9-1, 9-3, save percentage, 2.02. Goals against average, tied for third in the NHL in wins. UC Saros, an individual game save percentage of 9.55. Incredible what he has been able to do in the month of December. Listen, that's going to do it for the box score. It was a lot of weekend hockey, long weekend of hockey. Another back-to-back, the third back-to-back from the Nashville Predators in recent time. We've got the Christmas break coming up. Very excited about that. Hope everybody is doing well during the holiday time. Hope everybody gets a chance to take a break, get some rest, some relaxation. I know that seems almost impossible because things seem to be busier than ever at this time of year. So I hope everybody's all right out there. Hope everybody's safe. It's been a tremendous weekend to cover the Nashville Predators here in the bunker. We'll give you an updated game preview of the Vancouver Canucks. It's such an important big-time Western Conference matchup that I really want to jump back in the studio tomorrow and update all of the numbers after Vancouver plays in Chicago. So expect an updated episode 839 coming up sometime on Monday afternoon. That's going to do it for operation number 839. We're going to close it out and say they did it again. UC Saros on the second night of back-to-backs, 3-0. He's only given up 3 goals against. Incredible decision-making by a rookie head coach in Andrew Burnett, and the Nashville Predators are finding a way. This has really been an incredible second night of back-to-back string that they've had in the month of December. After not having a back-to-back for the first 2 months of the season, then to have 3 of them now, and they'll have another one for the end of the month. So expect this same rotation. Lankinen in game 1, Saros in game 2, and I guess expect the same type of strategy. Preds get 2 goals and then try to hang on. This is the only difference in this one was Preds find a way to get that insurance goal, and that insurance goal really did go a long way to helping the Preds. I felt really settled down after that insurance goal and really wrapped things up, holding the Caps to, what was it, something like only 5-6 shots on goal there. Caps finished with 22. They had 17. 5 shots on goal in the third period when the Preds started the period with a 1-goal lead. That's a much better job coming out of the intermission. Second period, Preds were playing down to the Caps. Listen, the Caps are not a bad team, but they're certainly not a good team, and the Preds were playing down to them and just allowing them to control and tilt the ice. But the Preds are just finding ways, man. This is an interesting beat to be on, and that's not something we could say the last couple of years. Fascinating what's happening here in Nashville. All right, everybody. Hope you have a great rest of the weekend. I hope everybody gets started on the Christmas break and is real safe. If you're traveling out there, make sure you're careful and make sure you plan ahead for everything. Renegades are always prepared, and Renegades, you're never alone this time of year. So remember that. You can always reach out to us. We're always going to be here for you. I'm your host and Captain Crazy Charlie Saunier. It's been fun rambling with you for a little bit here in the bunker. Stick taps, love, and respect.